Folks, today we're going to show you how to make a beautiful DIY hanging shelves, and all you're going to be needing as the major element is some thread bar. It really is easy. So, number one, I've got 3 planks. I got these from one of those second-hand wood shops that salvage all the wood, and I just couldn't resist them. I had no idea what I was going to make with them, but I needed them, as one does. So I've given them a light sand, folks. These are 1 meter. The planks, they're 60 millimeters in thickness. They're really nice and chunky, and I want that industrial kind of oldie look in the finish. And you can see they've been beaten up about here, and I don't want that to be smooth. That is the last thing that I want. So light sanding has happened to them, and what I need to do now is get them ready for painting, because we're going to use a color into a sealer so that you're doing it all in one. So it's going to treat the wood, seal it, protect it, plus give me just a little bit of bling, which is the color that I'm looking for. Right, folks, so what I've got here is my sealer. Now, I've got the Colourant here. I love this product because you get all different types, and it's very simple to use. You really can't mess it up. It's one of these into 1 liter. Let's open this up. There we go. Let's pop it over here. Right, lovely. Give this guy a good shake, and then in goes my opal colors, which is what it's called, into here. Nice and easy. You can't mess this up, guys. And then a good stir. Oh, can you see? Look at that. Isn't that fab? Remember, this is the Colourant, and it's got the sealer in it, so it's kind of 2 jobs in one. All right, so here we go. These have already had their dust off, and let's get painting. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, start on the one side, and off we go. We're going to end up with like a washed look, which is exactly what I'm wanting because of the pots that I'm wanting to put on here. Remember, I said I want that kind of beaten up, almost industrial, cottagey look, if that makes any sense. But it's got a bit of steel with it, with the thread bar. It's got this washed blue look. I hope it's going to be as gorgeous as I imagine. I'm using Woodock 30, a low gloss clear wood ideal for outdoor applications. Not only does it offer excellent UV protection and water repellency, but when it comes to adding color, there's a wide selection of colors to choose from. Woodock colors are meant to be added to clear sealers to provide endless decor possibilities around your home. Folks, it's looking beautiful. Just the color that I was wanting. We've applied 3 coats, followed all the instructions, and now it's time to start assembling. So take the 1 plank and pop it on here on these 2 resting boards, because we're going to be doing some measuring and drilling now. What we do know is that the width of this is 180. I want to find smack bang in the middle, which we know is 90. So I want to just make a little mark there, right? Because this is where we are now measuring to drill the hole where, if you imagine if this was the thread bar, is going to be going through it, okay? So to make life easier, from the outside, I'm just going to use 2 of the width of this ruler. So there's the 1. Move it across. There's the 2nd. We make our mark there, right? Where those 2 intersect, just like that, which is going to be there and there. That's where they intersect. That is where we're going to drill. All right, let's do the same to the other side. All right, folks, drilling is all done. Now what we're going to do is take your first plank, put it over here, all right, and this is where you start with the thread bar. Now, this is where a lot of threading and twisting is going to take place, because this is what is going to happen. You are going to place the little nut on, and this is 8mm thread bar, by the way, and you buy the matching little bolts and the little washers as well. You don't have to use the washers, but I just like using them. So get that guy on. This is going to go on top, so you'll get the idea as soon as we put the first one together. So there it is, nut washer. You then thread it through, push it through the hole. Okay, there we go. Okay, right. Once that is in place, we then take washer, nut, same thing on the underside. Then we push that down, thread this little guy through, windy, 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 a little 13mm spanner, and you just tighten them up. Right, one in place, we do exactly the same for the other side. Alright folks, so there's the thread bar. We've got nut washer, washer nut. Now what we need to do is from the top of that thread bar, we need to put on another nut and a washer, and we're going to do the same on the other side. Then we thread the next shelf through, and then you repeat the same process. Don't stress too much about your distance at the moment. The first step is to just get those nuts on and the washers, because that takes a lot of time. And the easiest way to do that is to flip this guy up like that, stand up, and you do it from the top. Here we go. And then you're gonna go on here. Get you one over here. Right, and then it's gotta give it a bit of a... Beautiful! Love it! And you know what comes next? On with the next nut. Same on this side. And exactly the same on the other side. I love it! Look at that! 3 shells floating with this lovely antique look and the industrial, whatever we want to call it, of the thread bar. It's looking really funky. Now all that's left to do is to take this gadget, and this is an eye bolt on a thread bar, and this guy over here is a thread bar joiner, right? So we take that and we pop that onto the top here. All right, don't thread it all the way in. And then you take the eye bolt with the thread bar and you pop that on. And now you can see how it's going to work. We do the same to the other side. And depending on what your application is and what you've got to hang it off, that all depends on how you would finish this mechanism here. Right, folks, this guy's had enough time to dry. It's now time to put it up. So I've already put my eye bolt up there. It's an open eye bolt with a screw mechanism, drilled a little pilot hole and popped it into the rafter. Because I'm difficult and I want things just in the right place, I have got some extensions, and this is just the normal thread bar, the same that we used, and I've got a coupling here. So all I'm going to be doing is taking this off. Remember that eye bolt that we attached here. So that's going to come off, and I'm just going to add this extension on. Now, there are simpler ways of doing it, I'm told, except yours truly, of course, wants to hang it up. But it's going to look gorgeous on the wall. So, first up is to get this little eye out. Right, there it is. And all I'm going to do is add the extension in. And then all I simply do is just thread it on. Right, that's on nicely. Now remember, the eye bolt that we had originally on here, I'm simply extending it and putting it onto the extension of the thread bar. And you love it when a plan comes together. Look at this baby, looking gorgeous. All it needs now is some beautiful pots. Let's get to it. Alrighty folks, so now comes the part where I'm needing to put some plants on there. Now this particular little patio, veranda, stoep, better word, gets a good amount of morning light, which means it's quite versatile. So we could even add in a few indoor plants, which are actually just shaded plants, remember, and I've got a few little succulents here. So I want to get them potted up, nice little terracotta pots. This is a 16 centimeter, will do the job just fine, because remember, with shelving, always consider the final height of your plant so that you're not squashing it in there. We've got some crocks, which you know are broken bits of terracotta pots, or you can just use gravel for the base. So let's get those in. Find one that fits in the base here. Perfect. A bit of soil in here. Now we've got a potting soil mixture. Remember, fresh potting soil. That's all we're needing. So a wee bit in the base, and then let's get this beautiful crashula. So this crashula is Ovata Red Edge. Crashulas are incredibly hardy, very, very tough, can cope with quite a bit of shade as well as full blazing sun. So a really good customer for where I'm wanting to finally have it. So teasing the roots a little bit. There we have it. And then let's pop him in here. Get the little baby in. Right, this baby is good to go. And now I've got a little sedum here. Now these little sedums are spectacular. Why? Oh, I want to show you why. So these little sedums during winter, they go red, red, red. It's sedum rubiginosum. But now look, off that one little leaf. Do you see the little nunu there? Look, there's its baby coming. There's the little nunu. So if we took that leaf and we just put it down in a pot, or we even just left it there, it's going to eventually make a big brother. Completely amazing. You can even see its little roots. Right, let's get this little baby in here, and let's get this guy out. And remember, they love tight spaces, so they'll be entirely happy here. They're not going to get too much sun, so they're not going to dry out a lot, which is another added bonus. But look at that, fantastic. And of course, in this process, as one does with potting when gardening, is that you've got to make a mess. Together with the other bits, I've got some peperomias, a little haworthia, another little sedum, and they're all going to enjoy the same conditions because it's getting 2 to 3 hours of sunlight a day. And all that I've got to do now is just put them in place.